What if I told you that dragons might not be as imaginary as you think? From fire-breathing beasts in medieval Europe to wise serpent-like creatures in Asia, dragons have captured human imagination for thousands of years. But here's the big question: were dragons ever real? Let's dive deep into the truth behind the legend of dragons and what science has to say about it. Every culture has its own version of the dragon. In China, dragons symbolize wisdom and good luck, bringing rain and prosperity. In Europe, dragons were seen as evil, treasure-hoarding monsters, villains for brave knights to slay. In Mesoamerica, the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl was a god of wind and knowledge. But why do these legends appear almost everywhere? It comes down to three things: imagination, fear of the unknown, and the discovery of something incredible: bones. Thousands of years ago, people found enormous bones buried in the earth, fossils of dinosaurs, mammoths, and giant reptiles. Without modern science, they guessed these belonged to gigantic monsters. Greek historians wrote of griffins after seeing Protoceratops fossils. In China, dragon bones were ground into medicine. These discoveries weren't wrong, they just misunderstood what they were seeing. Not all dragons were born from fossils. Some myths came from real animals that still exist today. The Komodo dragon, the world's largest lizard, is a fierce predator. Crocodiles and giant snakes inspired terror. Even the idea of breathing fire might have come from the bombardier beetle, which sprays a boiling hot chemical explosion to defend itself. If an insect can do it, could a bigger creature evolve something similar? Could a real dragon exist? Let's break it down. Flying dragons like Smog are impossible. Their wings would need to be larger than an airplane to lift their body weight. Fire breathing? Theoretically, it's possible. If a creature had two chemicals in separate chambers, mixing them could cause combustion, similar to the bombardier beetle. But the heat would likely damage its own mouth. So, while dragons as we imagine them aren't realistic, nature has some fascinating examples that come close. Dragons aren't real, but their impact is. From Game of Thrones to Skyrim, they dominate our fantasy worlds. They symbolize power, mystery, and magic. But their mythological roots are just as important. They show how humans have always tried to explain the unknown with stories. So, are dragons real? Not in the way movies show us, but they're real in our imagination, in culture, and in the fossils that sparked our legends. And who knows, millions of years ago, nature created creatures like pterosaurs and massive reptiles that were just as incredible as any dragon in a fairy tale. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of dragons. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, which dragon is your favorite? Smog, Drogon, or the Chinese lung dragon? Until next time, keep imagining.